Good day, everyone. We're the group 3, and we're gonna discuss the material or economic self. Um, we have our members: Santana, Estrada, Raffles, Alisada, Alarde, Mendoza, Osabel Jr., Igsolo, and we're gonna begin with next page. The learning objectives. So first, to understand what is the material self and economic self, which will be discussed by Raffles and Tanotano. To know the role of material objects in self-description and self-perception, which will be discussed with our fellow teammates, and to know the implications of possession, of lack of them, for self-esteem and the feeling of well-being. So let's begin. Material self, according to William James, pertains to the objects, places, or even people which have the label mind. So it um it it pertains to the objects that are being owned by the person. So if an object is being owned by a person, it is a way of knowing himself on how they use and how they take care of it. So next slide. So the next slide is phrase. So what we have is what we are. So it means that what we have, like our clothes, body, family, and friends, is also a way of knowing what we are. So let's have the components. So the basic components is body, clothes, family, and friends. So yeah. So body. Let's start with the body. So body. Our body is a way of knowing who we are and what we are based on how we take care of our body and how do we give what we need of, of the body on how, for example, if you really take care of your body, people people will say that you are a very caring person for you to take care of yourself, and that's a way they know you on who you are. So clothes, wearing the proper type of clothes is also knowing who you are, or is also um, saying who we are. So if you wear decent clothes for the decent occasion, and they will see you, they will say that that guy is following what's right. So they will know that who you are if you are responsible on what you wear and how you behave. So next is the family. So we all know that family is with us since birth. So the family may is also a component on knowing who we are and what we are based on the actions and the experiences that have happened in the family. It is going to positive or negative results, but it's still the component of transforming on who we are or what we are. That's why family is part of the components. Example, when you have a family problem, and it will affect you until you grow old. So that's what transforms you. Each The family problem what transformed you and made who you are that day on. So friends, we all have friends. So they are also a component for they transform on who we are based on how we act with them. So if we have good friends, they may lead you to good, and they may also lead you to bad. It all depends on you, but still it is a component for they you are with them and you will do in it what they are doing, or based on the actions you and your friends are doing. So it also transforms who you are when you grow older. So that's all, I guess. All in all, it's just from the phrase "what we have is what we are," it states that on how we take care of it, how we use it, is what makes who we are. So, next presenter, thank you.
Economic self-sufficiency is the ability of an individual and families to maintain sufficient income to consistently meet their needs, including food, housing, utilities, healthcare, transportation, taxes, dependent care, and clothing. So, in short, economic self-sufficiency is being able to provide for yourself or for your family. So, how do you do that? How are you gonna be able to provide, or how to become financially independent? Create a plan that allows you to build your net worth. Do not buy things. Example are like, do not buy things that you want. Instead, buy things that you need. Like, also you can grow your own food. Save for your goals and focus on more important things that you need. That's it.
So, the role of material objects in the self-description and self-perception. So, first is material self. So, what is material self? So, material self, according to William James, pertains to the objects, places, and even people which have the label of mine. So, such possessions are viewed as extensions of individuals' identities. For instance, your clothes reflect certain aspects of your personality and designated them as my wardrobe. So, the body, according to James, is the innermost aspects of material self. Also, you perceive certain body parts as more private and intimately yours as compared to the others. The next aspect is your clothing, the garments which protects as well as project your body. This is followed by your family. They are connected to you by blood and you share their glory as well as shame. Your home comes next. It is where many aspects of your life have been developed. It is where you feel most comfortable and greatly linked to your identity. This is followed by other possessions such as gadgets, cars, collections, and etc. So, material self is means that the people or the place or things that you own. So, next is the material possession. So, proper material possession is a property or belongings that are tangible. Belongings, property holding, something owned, any tangible or intangible possessions that is owned by someone. So, material possessions signify some aspects of one's sense of self. Parents buy necessities of their family because it is symbolic of their need to provide security. The possessions of material things also indicates one's status in this society. Our material possessions have a strong influence on our everyday lives. They can reflect an individual's behavior, attitude, emotions, and allow us to grasp self-reflection. Possessions allow us to understand and to express our self-identity. Possessions may play a role in creating, maintaining, and preserving the identity of individuals. So, over time, individuals develop a set of symbols which they can believe represent as identity as they want to protect, as these material possessions as last part of identity. So lastly, point out things tell us who we are, not in words, but by embodying our intentions. In our everyday traffic of existence, we can also learn about subselves from objects almost as much as from people. So last is the roles of the material objects in self-description. So material objects can be used to describe a person's or oneself, and the role of the object's materials enables us to comprehend and express our sense of self-identity. So example of that is like you can identify or define yourself as a thing like a pencil. Pencil is hard in the external but soft in the inside. Like some people think that you are strong, but deep inside you are just like a glass. So, ano to? Humok ang sud. Next.
Material possession, property or belongings that are tangible. Tangible possession, belongings, property, holding something, any tangible or intangible possession that is owned by someone. So the next one is material self. According to William James, pertains to the object, places, or even people which have the label mind. Such possessions are viewed as extensions of individuals' identities. For instance, your clothes reflect certain aspects of your personality and you designate them as my wardrobe. So, ako na-explain kung unsa na yung material possession. So, ang material na possession dahil kung sa Bisaya pa na kay material nga imong gipanag-iya o mga butang nga mahika para daw or mga butang nga ikapoy nakatag-iya o kana sa butang nga something po na nga kuan ra nga mahikap ra o tag-iya ni or ikay makatag-iya na or sa laing tawo mao daw na pre nang kuan kanang mahikap nga butang pre nang auto, cellphone, nang kuan baseball bat, electric fan kanang mahikap nga butang tapos ikay nakatag-iya daw na nakasimple ang kanisa material possession. So ari na punta sunod sa material self. Explain ko ni kung saan siya. So ang material self kung sa Bisaya pa na material na kagalingon kanang ikay natag-iya. Example ng mga sanina ikay ni palit nanasad cellphone ikay ni palit kanang computer ikay ni palit laptop ikay ni palit nga imong kagaling kwarta. Ug niana po daw to si William James daw nga bahin po daw ng mga kuwan mga butang o lugar or mga tawo kay naa matagilibel daw nga mine. So kumbaga kung sa Bisaya pa na kay atua ug naapod ay kanang og naapod nga nakatag-iya sad ta og ning kuan ning lapad ang mga individual og identities. For instance pareha ng kuan ato ang sanina kay mo reflect mo na sa atong kagalingon gyud ug sa ato ang kinaiya mao man ginagyud kung unsa atong gipanuot nana kay magbase na sa atong attitude. Kung example magsulod kag saninang nga katagkuan kayo mara dili kayo kuan di kitarong so wata ka ba ang katong kuan nato kay ang tawa to day kay pasen ni kuan na nang dama kayo nana mara di siya ka ba manamit og kuan kung napoy ubang tao nga limpyo kay sila mo dagkuan sulod sa nina snappy kayo tapos ang ngayon kita naon so mag-reflect sa iyong attitude. So makaingon ng mga tao ay kaning tawana buutan indot kini siya panamit kuan ni siya buutang ni siya or nana o napoy uban nga silang aparador nana daw kay mga chekig mga sanina nana mo base na sa imong kuan imong attitude nana personal og sa imong personality ug maro na
I discussing about the role of material objects in self-description and self-perception. So first we define the self-description and the self-perception to know what is the meaning of those words. So first is the self-description. So the self-description is the act or an instance of describing oneself. So next is the self-perception. So self-perception is a person's view of his or herself or any of the mental or physical attributes that constitute the self. So that's the meaning of those words. So now we here in the what is the role of material objects in self-description and self-perception. So material objects can be used to describe a person or oneself and the role of the object's materials enable us to comprehend and express a sense of self-identity. So the role of the material objects in the self-description and the self-perception is to describe the person through the object and thus enable us to comprehend and express our sense of self-identity. So that is the role of material objects in self-description and self-perception.
Implications of possession or lack of them for self-esteem and the feeling of well-being. Material possessions tell something of the personality and social values of those who own them. Possessions are extended versions of oneself. So material possessions tell something of the personality and social values of those who own them. So meaning, if that one person, let's just say na she's a K-pop fan group, so absolutely, she wants to buy an album of the said K-pop group nga iyang gina-idolize. So even though she doesn't have a luxury to purchase that item instantly, although she can save money naman little by little if she is really determined to purchase that item. So in my own opinion, social values isn't a hindrance to someone to buy whatever her possessions, as long as she can sustain her wants and needs. Possessions are extended versions of oneself. So why possessions are extended versions of oneself man? So let's just say na I am an Avenger fan. So my family and friends, acquaintance know that I am an interest of those. So kung makakita sila Avenger stuff, makaana din sila na hala, favorite man ni Maxio. So with those materials, even though I am not physically there, or even though you are not physically there, your acquaintance will know with just that stuff lang na makaingon din sila sa imong pangalan. So that's why possessions are extended versions of oneself. How can we say if the person have a lack of self-esteem? When a person is self-critical about things, appearances, abilities, and intelligence. So like one na sila na, I'm not good enough, I'm not talented enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, like wala sila materials na makapasatisfy sa ilang self. So that kinds of thoughts will really make your self-esteem low. So ako, ganahan kong butang na tanawon ako or pilion ako na mas pakataas sa akong self-esteem, or I have a material that will boost my self-esteem, because self-esteem is very important. It influences our decisions and choices in our life.
So, self-esteem. Self-esteem is like your opinion of yourself. Many people with healthy self-esteem like themselves and value or achievements. Since while everyone lacks confidence occasionally, many people with low self-esteem feel unhappy or unsatisfied with themselves most of the time. This can be remedied, but it takes attention and daily practice to boost self-esteem. So, for example, cause of low self-esteem. Unhappy childhood where parents like or other significant people such as teachers were extremely critical, like for example, poor academic performance in school resulting in a lack of confidence, ongoing stressful life event such as a relationship breakdown or financial trouble, poor treatment into your partner, your parent or career, for example, being in an abusive relationship, ongoing medical problems such as chronic pain, serious illness or physical disability, mental illness such as anxiety disorder or depression, sadness, and etc. And that's all.
Okay, sir, I report about the self-esteem. Having healthy self-esteem can influence your motivation, your mental health, your mental well-being, and your overall quality of life. However, having self-esteem that is either too high or too low can be problematic. Better understanding what your unique level of self-esteem, it can help you strike a balance that is just right for you. In psychology, the term self-esteem is used to describe a person's overall subjective sense of personal worth or value. In other words, self-esteem may be defined as how much you appreciate and like yourself regardless of the circumstances. That's all.